Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Movie Show. My name is Ishan, and today I am here to talk about something that has been on my mind for quite a bit, which is the movie theaters. Now, it's been a lot going on. Obviously, the Mulan news about it going to VOD because obviously it's because of the coronavirus that it's going to VOD. Everything's in chaos. People want Black Widow on Disney Plus so that they can buy it so that they don't have to go outside their houses. And there's a lot of things going on. I could talk on and on about the virus, but nobody really knows, Normal people really don't know. Most people don't really know, and even the doctors don't really know what's going on with that. So, it's really hard to talk about, COVID and whatnot. And I actually heard that if you talk about it on YouTube, you might get a disclaimer or something. But it's just hard to really talk about that. But the thing that's become a lot clearer to me, though, is that a lot of other countries are doing better with this. But the thing that has become a lot clearer to me is that a movie theater, theoretically, should be pretty simple to, to sanitize, to, come up with new protocols that make people safe and come up with ideas and ways to go about it. And, I'm going to get to the end of the video and I'm going to say, come up with some suggestions of maybe things that the movie theaters can do to make things easier, to make things safer. Like, I would say maybe they can have more, have little spots and be like, this is how far you have to be. They need to have people actually there to implement this, to be there, to be like, I'm sorry, you have to be this distance. I believe you should have to come in there with masks. I believe that you can raise your mask once you sit down in the seat, but once you're a certain distance away from people, maybe a seat or two away. And sure, it wouldn't be making as much money, and sure, it might cut to the theatrical experience a bit, but you would still be able to go to the movies and see it, and the theaters would still be making money. And the theaters would still be able to open up. Maybe if you want to even take it a step forward, maybe you can put shields in there. Maybe you can put shields, to put in shields, redesign it and put in shields to block it so that people, can just sit next to each other and eat openly without having to worry about anything. I mean, there are many options to go about doing this. But the problem is, and it's something that I thought about over this weekend while I was driving, while we were going past Commonwealth 20, is last weekend, while we were going past Commonwealth 20, it's like, dude, to me, it's become apparent that the reason that theaters are closed, the real reason, is because we can't be trusted to follow the rules. It's because most people will buck it. Most people will. It could be the most logical, makes perfect sense plan. Like the one I just described to you. They have the little spots and people just, when you get in line to get your popcorn, sure, it'll take a little longer. Maybe they, you just adjust. Just find new ways to get people in there safely. Little spots that this is the distance you have to be away from each other. You can't just crowd up on each other. You have to go into the theater one at a time, and they count you in, and they count where you're going. And sure, it'll take a little bit of time, but you just pause. There's ways to go about it, to figure out. There's ways to go about it, and rules that they can implement to make it easier for people to go to the movies, so that the theaters can open back up, and it can be a safe place to go. But the problem is, they don't think you will follow the rules. And to be fair, America, really, in the U.S., haven't shown that they would. Maybe me and you would. Me and you'd probably go there and be like, okay, I'm sitting in line, 6 feet, got my mask on, get my popcorn, get whatever, go in there and sit down, go in there, wait for my turn to go in and sit down. You have to sit in these assigned seats, either these seats with the red marks or whatever. These are the perfect distances. And, that's what me and you would do. And me and you would be able to do that. But everyone else is they're going to be lollygagging around. Maybe their kids are running all over the place. Maybe they're just like, I shouldn't have to do this. Maybe they're just like, whatever. And they just don't come in there with a mask. That's basically the problem. And the thing is, you might be thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal. That's their prerogative. But the thing is, all of these companies, AMC and Regal Cinema, to be more specific, they don't want to risk a lawsuit. They don't want to risk being in the headlines for being like the COVID. Regal Cinema doesn't care about COVID and a bunch of people catch it. And that's the problem, is that we are too much of a risk for the cinemas to take to allow us to see these movies. And I really think that that's a problem right now. I really think the fact of the matter is, and it wouldn't even be, you know what, it is a problem, but it wouldn't be as big of a problem if I didn't see so many people bitching and whining about the lack of ability to see certain things. If I didn't see so many people whining about, oh, I want Black Widow on VOD so I don't have to take a risk and go to the movie theater. Well, it wouldn't be a risk if everyone would if everyone would follow rules. If everyone would follow those guidelines, those rules, you know why they're there. It's not a mystery. It's not like some weird, fucking equilibrium thing where it's like, why are we taking this stuff? Oh, I don't know. They just say it's good for you. It's like, no. We know why they're implementing these rules. We know why, except we as Americans have that thing where we just like, fuck that, I don't want to do that. I'm American, do whatever the hell I want. I'm not gonna do that. And it's just like, come on, dude. This is why the theaters are closed. It's why they're closed. It has, I'm not gonna say it has absolutely nothing to do with the virus, but it has more to do with the fact that people can't be responsible and people can't be respectful, and that the fact that people can't be trusted to follow the safety guidelines so that we can all go and see the movies. We should all be able to go see the movies. We should all be able to go out to certain places. But certain places, bars and stuff shouldn't be closed. Now, granted, bars, I kind of get, people are drinking, so maybe it would be a lot harder to implement those rules. But restaurants shouldn't be closed. You should just be booths apart, bro. You should be booths apart, wear your mask, and so you sit down at your fucking booth. That should be it. There should be no reason that things are so crazy near restaurants that people have to shut them down just because, you know what I mean? Now, I know I might be getting off topic, and this video is kind of out of the norm for me to talk about this topic, but I'm really specifically talking about the movie theaters, and that is also included in the comic gamer movie part. And I really want to get back to the movies. It's been so long. The last movie I saw was Sonic the Hedgehog. Love you, Idris. I didn't hate that movie, but that can't stand. That cannot be the last thing I remember. That cannot be my last theatrical experience, damn it. I don't want to wait anymore. I'm going to find a movie place. When Tenet, I'm going to look for some place that is open. I am watching a goddamn movie. And it pisses me off that the reason I can't go to the movies is because people are such dicks and so irresponsible and so arrogant that the actual movie theater companies do not believe you would follow the rules even if they implemented them. That's why they haven't even tried. You notice that, right? Movies haven't even tried. Like they just shut down, and they've been shut down. At least everyone else has tried. You've seen certain places come back. I've seen a bunch of restaurants I go to come back and go, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do takeout. We're going to do this. We're going to do, boothing, people different locations. We're going to do, just bring it out to your car. Movie theaters haven't even tried because they think that you are so irresponsible and so dumb that if they set guidelines for you that are just straightforward and simple, that you would not abide to them. And I don't blame them, because there are a lot of people who won't. Maybe not mean you, but there are a lot of people who won't. And that shit bugs the hell out of me, because I really miss going to the movies. I don't want Black Widow to go VOD, because I know deep down, and I know a lot of other people do, a lot of people don't care about this when they want Black Widow to go VOD. They just want to watch Black Widow. They just want something. They've been sitting in their house. They want something. They want Marvel. But the thing is, I know it's not going to break even on VOD. I know that at max, it would make $300 million, which is pretty big. But Black Widow needs to make $400 million to break even. That movie has to make $400 million to break even. And the way it was tracking, and the gut feeling I had, that movie was going to make about $900 million. Now, sure, they probably would have only gotten about they probably would have only got about $600 to $500 million of it. But that's more than but that's $200 million to break even. That's $200 million worth of pure profit, though. So, you go from $200 million worth of pure profit to maybe not even breaking even. You know what I mean? That's the problem with it. Is the idea is to put it, basically, if you don't put it on Disney Plus, you might as well just be a right now. Right now, Mulan has to make $300 million on Disney Plus. It has to get over $10 million worth, 10 million people paying $30 to see to buy the movie to break even. That's not to make profit. I don't know why people keep like leaving that bit out. That's like, cause like I heard some people like, oh well, they just get pure profit. Like, oh, I mean, they don't gotta pay anyone else. It's just pure money right to the bank. It's like, no. It's still the movie. Like, you just don't have that plus multiplier. You know, that plus multiplier. It's just like, no. This movie still cost almost $300 million, a little over $300 million to make. At least $300 million to just make. So $300 million ain't good enough. You gotta make over that. So, like I said, Black Widow is pretty screwed. If it goes to VOD, it's not gonna break even, and I know for a fact that all the DC haters are gonna use that movie against the MCU. They're gonna be like, see, nobody cared about Black Widow. I bet if they did this, and this, that people would have went and saw it. That, oh, I bet it wasn't gonna make that much money at the box office anyway. Like, I can hear it. I hear it, and it's like fucking nails on a chalkboard inside of my head. I can hear their voices. I can hear them right now. And I don't want that for Black Widow. Black Widow has waited so long to get made. Scarlett Johansson is such a fantastic actress. Florence Pugh is my new favorite actress. I'm in love with that woman ever since Fighting with My Family and goddamn Midsommar, which is a weird ass movie. I don't know if I'd suggest Midsommar to people, but that's a weird ass movie. I'm in love with this woman. I'm in love with this woman, Florence Pugh. I love her, man, and I've always been in love with Scarlett. Love Scarlett Johansson. She's one of the true actresses. You know, there's some actresses, but I love the fact that Scarlett Johansson's willing to do genre shit, because not all actresses are willing to do genre shit. A lot of them kind of stick to their, you know, either they're actors or they just do nothing but genre shit. But like, you know, but it's nice to see her and like Charlize Theron are like really women who are in action mode, and I wanted to see this last hurrah. I'm like, come on, this is the first film in Phase 4. I don't want to see the first film in Phase 4 on Disney Plus. Yet. I want to see it after it comes out, makes $800 to $1 billion, then comes raining, and then comes to Disney Plus like a fucking reigning champion, like the new kid on the block, and just like, I'm gonna slap myself right in here, and I'm be just like, it's a building. Oh man, like, and I feel bad for Disney a bit because I know they had a plan, but you know, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, comment below. What are some ideas that you think can be implemented to help movie theaters? And do you agree with me? Do you think that movie theaters are just, the reason they're not open has less to do with the virus and more to do with people not being able to follow whatever guidelines they decide to come up with? I believe it to be true because I haven't even seen them attempt to come up with guidelines, attempt to release things to go, this is what we're thinking about doing. Every other, you know, fact of life, you know, the restaurants, the bars, the, you know, any place, all the place, Walmart, you know, every place has come up with some kind of, you know, things to implement, except the movie theaters, who I believe don't trust you to follow whatever rules they put out. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please be like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.